Hi friends, and welcome to the start of another video. As an overview for the video, this is going to be a mix of a few things. It's going to be a mess, really. As I was going through my kind of calendar for the month of my videos and what I'm planning, I realised that for this month I am really not going to have anything to talk about for a November reading wrap up, because honestly I've had a few DNFs, I've had a few books which just haven't really caught my attention, and I've really found myself in a reading slump. Part of today's video is going to be trying to get out of that reading rut, and I think I have the perfect book for the job. In general, this video is going to be kind of a reset vlog in multiple aspects of my life. We need to get some cleaning done, we need to get some reading done, and I've also just, as of about half an hour ago, been offered a ticket to go and see Hamilton at the theatre tonight, which is just so exciting. I've wanted to see that show for a really long time, so I am just so chuffed and excited. But in the meantime, I just want to let you know about the book that I will be reading throughout this video as well, that I'm hoping is going to get me back into reading, which is so ironic because I know that like 2 videos ago I've released a video all about how to have a really strong relationship with reading, but you know what, reading slumps hit us all, and I have found myself in one right now. So what I'm hoping will get me out of that is Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. I have never read anything by Brandon Sanderson, so this is my very first Brando Sando, and I think it is just the ticket. This seems to be a kind of quest story, but with a twist. We follow Tress, who lives on, I don't know if this is an island or a planet. From my research, the Cosmere series tends to be planets, so I'm assuming she's on a planet. Now, this Emerald Sea is actually not made of water, but in fact made of very deadly spores. Our protagonist Tress seems to be quite a simple girl. She doesn't really want for much. She's very easily satisfied with her life and loves collecting cups. That's what she's known for. Her friend Charlie also lives on the island, but Charlie's father takes him and his family on a voyage in the hopes of finding a bride for Charlie. However, he comes back without her friend, so Tress must leave the island to go and try and rescue her friend. From reading the little bit of blurb on the back, it sounds like this book might have pirates in it, which I absolutely love. And she also is kind of stowing away on a ship and trying to seek out a sorceress to help find her friend as well. This sounds like the perfect easy read. It doesn't look too long. And yeah, I'm just really excited to get stuck in. For now though, I've got a little bit of editing for a different project to do. I've got some cleaning and tidying away, so I will see you soon. Good morning, friends. The show last night was so good, even though the seats that I had were in the heavens and at a very steep angle as well. It was very nerve-wracking. Couldn't recommend it enough, and also would really recommend going to do stuff like that by yourself. It was so fun and kind of very spontaneous, and just really nice to do something by myself, take myself on a little solo date and go and see some amazing theatre magic. The only thing I am gonna say is that I think theatre etiquette has changed since I was last there, because the entire time that there were performances happening, people were just getting up and going to the loo and like moving around and chatting, and that's what the interval is for. moving along. Last night when I came in, I needed to wind down a little bit. So I did end up reading a little bit more of Tress of the Emerald Sea. And I'm just past the 100-page mark, and I have to say I am loving it so far. I really enjoy the kind of sidekick character. If you know me in person, you know I have an incredible fondness for any animal that is part of the rodent family, but specifically little rat friends. Needless to say, I'm absolutely just completely in love with the fact that the sidekick is a little talking rat friend. For now, I need to get on with chores and errands and all that boring stuff. I will see you soon. Alright, so now that I'm back, I'm feeling slightly peckish. I've got a teeny tiny portion of pasta from what I made last night before I went out. So I think I'm gonna reheat that, just talk whilst I put my produce away. I might have one of my mince pies as well actually with a cup of tea. Do some reading is the plan. Good morning, friends. Welcome back to my kitchen. Right now, I actually have what I would describe as quite a fun task. I have got this candle, which smelled amazing, but it's at that point now where it won't light anymore, but there's still quite a lot of wax left. So I've saved some pretty coloured wax from some old taper candles, and I'm going to melt down this scented wax, add this in and make a little wax melt, and I can give that away as a small Christmas gift. So that's my plan. One for me and one for you. So while that melts enough to be able to remove the wick from the bottom, I'm going to give you a reading update. Just over 150 pages into Tress of the Emerald Sea now. I am loving it more and more with every page that I read. I think the most standout thing and the thing that keeps driving me is just how funny the narrative voice is. There is so many moments where I've laughed out loud. It's quite a gift to be able to make people actually have a visceral reaction to your writing and not just kind of like, oh yeah, it was funny in like a breathe quite hard through your nose sort of way. So I'm really enjoying that aspect of the book. The narrator is hilarious. It's quite sarcastic and I love that. I'm also really enjoying the world building aspect. As I said earlier, I don't know anything about the Cosmere world and the Cosmere series, so any of the stuff that's mentioned in the book I assume has been mentioned elsewhere, but I'm loving this idea of these kind of like different moons and these 12 different seas, and how all of these elements are like really normal. They have their own different magic systems for each like world, and yet the magic systems themselves are very fascinating to read about, and I'm loving the lore around the spores and how they differ so much from place to place. It's just really fun. We're also starting to see the spores used not just as something really dangerous, but also how it can be manipulated to work in ways to serve people, especially the crew members on the ship. And Tress as a character is really coming into her own now. She's becoming less naive by the page, and she's just a really refreshing protagonist to read. She really thinks things through. She doesn't make rash decisions, and she like thinks of every single viewpoint, even when it's to her detriment. She's just like a really open-minded person. So I'm loving that. I'm loving that development. Not sure why, but I had it in my head that this is going to be a happily ever after kind of story. And at this point now, I'm not sure if that is the case. But similarly, even if it is the case, I feel like Brandon Sanderson is sneaky and it's not going to be in the way that I expect. Things are heating up just in general in the plot. Mischief is afoot on the ship. The captain is looking very suspicious, and there are a lot of other strange and wonderful crew members that I'm excited to learn more about. I'm also completely enamored with the talking rat. Huck is my favourite part of the book so far, and that's saying a lot because there's a lot of wonderful stuff happening in here, but I think I'm just living vicariously through Truss in this particular instance. Nevertheless, I'm loving this so far. The wax is beginning to melt and my tea is steeping. In the meantime, I'm going to drink my peppermint tea, read a bit more, and carry on with my day.
So baby, let me give you my all, 'cause it's you I've been waiting to find. I've wanted to tell you time from time. I can't let this pass me by. She'll never feel the way I feel.
Good afternoon, friends. I'm so tired. I've spent the entire day so far, it's about 3:30 now, deep cleaning my flat. I really went for it this time. I even descaled the kettle. I'm exhausted, but everything is clean. I'm feeling tired but accomplished. I think I am very due a little bit of time reading. This is the perfect book to curl up with for an hour or so now and just relax. You know, put my feet up, read a really fun story and drink a delicious mugful of tea. Might even treat myself to a biscuit. So that is what I'm gonna do now. Good evening, friends. I have not had a chance to check in with you since yesterday when I finished Tress of the Emerald Sea. I absolutely loved this book from beginning to end. It is so full of heart, so imaginative, just so endearing. Every single character is so lovable in their own unique way, and it is such a warm hug of a book. That's the only way I can describe it. If you are looking for a really fun and light-hearted but just really cozy read, I would really recommend this. If you've not read anything about the Cosmere universe before, you can absolutely read this as a standalone. I'm sure if you have read other novels in Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere series that perhaps you might get even more from this book, but as someone who has not read anything by this author before, I really thoroughly enjoyed it, and it has made me really eager to pick up more and read more. So this has definitely done the job of getting me out of my reading slump, and I'm so grateful. For the past few days I feel like I've been having this big sort of reset right before the festive period, which is such a busy time, and I think it was so needed. I don't know about you, but this time of year I find it really tiring. My screen time was way more than I wanted it to be, and it was really interfering with my sleep, and then, you know, obviously then my energy levels, and I wasn't enjoying reading and doing the things that I usually enjoy. And I just feel like the past few days have been such a productive time, but also such a useful reminder for myself to enact those kind of self-care practices which don't always feel great in the moment. For example, deep cleaning my flat. I did not want to do that. It makes such a difference to my overall well-being. I feel really refreshed and kind of ready to face this upcoming very busy period. I just want to say thank you so much for being here. I try and upload new videos every single Sunday, so hopefully I will see you back here next week. And in the meantime, I hope you are taking some time to look after yourself. Take care, lovely friends, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.